Hey bubblies, it's Champagne with another toast to the good life. How are you guys doing today? I thought I could do a little diary videos because I have some really good photos of me traveling, and I keep thinking to myself, oh my gosh, what can I do with these? And I'm thinking, oh, I know, let's do a video diary where I just share with you my thoughts and you just tell me why you disagree. So let's get into it. Oh, if this is your first time, thank you so much for watching me. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that every time we go live, you're made aware of it. So let's get it. So I'm in the process of moving out my parents' house. I sold my home because I wanted to move out the state, and I gave myself a year to be at my parents' house. But I have this new job, and just because of the way things are currently, I have to put off my movement for about a year. So I'm like, dang, I can't stay in my parents' house for another year. So I'm in the process of apartment shopping. And the one thing I have to say I love about getting older is just the wisdom and the knowledge that you have. When I was younger and I was looking for apartment complexes, I was just looking for a place to not be near my mom and that had a pool. I knew those were two things that I really, really wanted. And that's so basic. Like, girl, I was so basic. What happened? And now, as I look for apartments, I have a whole different thought process of what it is I want, what it is that I need in an apartment, and what it is that I can attain based on my income level and what's comfortable for me to purchase. So I got with my girlfriend, and she's great. Her apartments always were nice. She just always were picking out really nice apartments. And I've had apartments and they've been cool. I think I didn't start getting a little bit fancier with my apartments until around my 5th apartment, maybe. It has to be that. And it was nice. It was in a decent neighborhood. I was still touching a little bit of a hood, but it was like a hood in another one of the surrounding cities, but it wasn't as hood as I have lived in. So I don't know if you can get that part. And then my last apartment before I moved, that was even the fanciest. My last apartment was my fanciest, and I did not appreciate it. I was such an unappreciated young girl of me having a really nice apartment and moving to a home. When you get a home, ladies, don't feel like you have to have a home. I know a lot of people think, oh, it's an investment. Oh, I own my own home and it's mine. I can do what I want. And, it makes a good property. I can resell it, yada, yada. And you know what? Those things can all be true. They can all be true. But I want you guys to also understand that depending on the housing market, your house, it might sell for really good and it might not. For instance, right now, when I sold my home, I made about $40,000 more than what I paid for it. And I lived in it for about 9 years, and I did no repairs to it, and it needed a lot of repairs. It was a come up for me. But for my mom, when she was coming up, she had her home through the housing crisis and that bubble popped. The home was foreclosed upon. She was underwater. She would have owed at least $40,000. I don't know if that's exact, but it's that type of situation where people feel like you have to get a house. I like apartments now because, yeah, I have to share with other people. Yeah, someone is next to me. But 1, I'm a single woman. 2, I don't like to do repairs. 3, I don't like to spend money trying to get people to do repairs. And with the house, especially if you purchase an older home, there's always something you have to fix. Especially if your home, the previous owner, he just spackled it and threw paint on the walls. Even if he didn't, if it's an old home, there's always going to be things that breaks, like having an old car. So, unless you make a really, really good amount of money, or, you know, you plan to get a really, really super cheap house that you can put those, that's what I recommend, you know. But those houses are also in sometimes shaky neighborhoods. For you to buy a $30,000 home, you might be buying it in a crazy neighborhood. So if you buy a house, I would say try to get it as cheap as possible so that even if you work at a McDonald's, you can still make the bill and then fix it up. But also, again, if you're a single woman like I was, you have to worry about where those houses are. So, moral of the story, ladies, don't feel like you have to buy a house. Really sit down and weigh your pros and cons. As a person who lived in homes and lived in an apartment, the house for me was cool for about a year or two. But when you look at all the things you have to do with it, it was nice to have a man. I did have a guy who was living with me, he did a lot of the housework. So I didn't have to worry about mowing the lawn, raking the leaves, you know, power washing the side of the house. He took care of all of that like it was his house. I was just like, oh, okay, you just tell me what you need me to do, you know? So I did like that. So if I was in a relationship or married and he's like, hey, let's get a house, I'm down for it. But as a single woman myself, an apartment is what fits me. It's what suits me. And right now I'm looking for apartments that are in really good areas. I'm trying to move up the financial bracket. And one of the things I do realize that it's helpful to be in areas where you can meet people who can help you along your way. One of the things I always like, why do I never run into, you know, this type of individual or this type of individual? And then I had to look at what stores I was going to, what restaurants I was going to, you know, where was I going and meeting people? And these weren't really the greatest places. These aren't necessarily anyone who can, you know, help me out, or, you know, it's just people just look like they hate you. So you don't want to go to these places to really talk to people. You're trying to get in, get out. So I realized, okay, you got to start going to better places. You got to start meeting other people. And, you know, I'm trying to make a certain income bracket. I want to make at least $500,000. That's a lot, I know, but I look at that as I have some philanthropy that I want to do. So if I make more money, I can do more of the things. And one of my goals in life is to open up a cat shelter. And I would love to be able to have the money to do it and be able to rely on me to fund it versus having to rely on a whole bunch of other people. So my want for money, and yes, I want to live a comfortable life. Okay. I don't want anyone to be like, that's not the only reason. No, it's not the only reason. I do want to live a comfortable life. I don't know that I'll ever get married. I don't know that I'll ever have kids. If it happens for me, that would be wonderful. If it doesn't, that's cool too. That's wonderful as well. But what I can control and what I do want is I want to be happy, and I want to be safe, and I want to be secure. And money is another way for me to do that. So now I'm looking at an apartment in a nicer area. And I like an apartment with amenities, a swimming pool, a fire pit. And all these apartments are the bomb these days because they have fire pits. They have the coffee machines, the beer kegs, the fountains, the soda fountains. You can go there to get water and soda and juice. Not that I would drink it all like that because, you know, I'm trying to be 40 and fine. They have a movie theater that you could watch movies with everybody else. They have group and community events. And that's the one thing about my other apartment complex that I did not take advantage of it enough. I was so trying to get a man, and I just wanted to be in a relationship so bad. And gosh, I wish I can go back and tell myself, like, girl, listen, have fun, baby. Have fun. So now I'm like, okay, I would like to still have that type of setup to be able to go and enjoy my complex, to have things to do, to invite people over. And I saw what it looked like. My little sister, she had a nice place, and it was so roomy and spacious, and the energy it felt so nice and fun and just good. So, you know, that's just where I'm kind of thinking about that. But hopefully I'll get something really nice. I'll keep you guys in the loop and I'll let you know what I get. Thank you so much for listening to me talking about my apartment versus my houses. If you like listening to my ramblings, or if you like to just see some slices of life vlogging, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave that notification bell on so that every time I upload a video or I go live, you guys know when it's happening. Thank you so much. Be safe, you guys. And tell me, where is one place that you would like to travel to? Thanks again. Bye.